Hello, hello! Alone Together, episode 4. We're doing this thing. We're really doing this. We're 4 weeks into a weekly series, so I'm proud of us. We're writing, recording, and releasing a brand new song every week, bringing it to you. We wanted this to be a project that is of the times, but not about the times. So, quarantine has us all alone. We're all independent, but we didn't want to stop making music. So, we're playing a little bit of recording telephone, if you will. So Phil sends me a song idea. I add whatever I want, some drums, some strings, some synths. I don't know. I send it on to Benji. He adds, I don't know, whatever he wants. He sends it on to Taimir. Taimir sends it on to Nate, and then Nate mixes it, and we all listen to it. So Nate has heard it. That brings us to where we are today. Nate is the only person who has heard it. In just a few minutes, we're going to be listening to it, the final version, for the first time with you. So all of these songs are going to be available exclusively to Patreon members. And without further ado, let's bring in the boys and talk about our new song. Oh, what is the name of the song? Oh, Taimir disappeared. Hopefully the boy comes back in. We got to hear from him.
Taimir's going to come back.
Yeah, he'll come back. He always comes back. In the interim,
You might do all of that. And I'm happy to be the one that is here as the Skype call has fallen through. I'm happy to be here talking to all of you. And I would love if you all would put in the comment section what your favorite song so far has been. Because, let's see, I think the Skype is started. I'm joining it, that's for sure. Oh boy, and let's see what order it puts us in when we get everybody back. Oh, there we go. Now it is me and Reed. Reed,
hello.
Say a few words as we repopulate, as the screen fills up with our good friends.
What happened?
Well, sometimes Skypes come and go, but we're live and we're talking about Reed and his new project, and we're talking about how it all comes in sort of differently, but that's the magic of live stream, right? So it's just like Saturday Night Live. If you take anything else from this, we are just like Saturday Night Live. Exactly. And our guest this week is Reed. Reed, tell us a few things about yourself musically.
Well, I like to make it. And I do that in a bunch of different groups. It was fun to do that with you guys this week because I'm just bored at home so much of the time. So it was really a fun project to just take something completely out of my wheelhouse and just, add in whatever I'm doing. But yeah, it was cool.
I'm back.
We're all back.
Taimir's back.
So what's fun is double surprise. Taimir doesn't know that everyone dropped off, and
we're all back.
I figured that's what happened.
Okay.
So,
Phil, could you reshare your screen so we can see everything going on?
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna go ahead and ask this week's question. So this week we're going simple. We're gonna do quick answers, and we're asking an age-old question, which is pancakes or waffles.
Oh man,
I know it's a tough one. All right, I'm gonna kick it first. I'm gonna kick it on to Reed. Reed, pancakes or waffles?
Waffles.
Waffles. Okay. I'm team waffles myself, so I'm going to side with you on that right now. Waffles are better. They're just superior. They're thicker. They taste better. I don't know. I feel very strongly about this.
Probably depends on the iron, but yeah.
That's waffles. True. That's true. Those little mini ones are not Eggo.
Okay.
I'm perfectly fine with Eggo waffles. I'm also waffles. Waffles 100%.
Yeah, I'm waffles.
All the way.
I'm waffles.
I see some waffles.
Wow.
Yeah.
Are we all waffles?
Waffles all the way down.
Unanimous.
The Novembros or also the Waffle Boys?
This is a waffle band.
Reed, if you didn't know, every one of us is born in November. So that's
shit,
weird.
Not me.
What's your birth month?
May.
May.
I'm a
Okay.
Taurus.
Lame.
Lame.
I don't have.
No, it's cool
I'm
enough.
sorry.
So this week we did a new song called "Games You Play." We're gonna play it now. In a few minutes, we're gonna talk about what we all added. Tell you a little bit about the song. At the end, Phil's gonna tell you kind of the inspiration behind the song. So without further ado, "Games You Play," Alone Together, Broke Royals original. In 3, 2, 1.
She said I love you, then she called me by another name. She said I love you, but I caught her in another game. Another game. She's got games I don't mind playing. She don't know that I'm not staying. Meet me at the spot on the corner. It reminds you of the bars by Appleseed tomorrow. And now I see she's closing in on being honest. And now I see she's trying to give up on all of those ways. But that ain't easy, baby. But I can make it easy for you. I'll be headed out that door, ooh, baby. Meet me at the spot on the corner that reminds you of the bars by Appleseed tomorrow. Now I almost stayed a little longer. I guess that I was born to roam. She said I love you, but she called me by another name. She said I love you. Oh, what a shame. All those games I don't mind playing, but she almost had me staying. Meet me at the spot on the corner that reminds you of the bars by Appleseed tomorrow. Now I almost stayed a little longer, but I guess that I was born to roam. I'm not waiting for you.
Oh man, that was awesome.
Oh man. So we lost Taimir again. Obviously, he just kind of popped out. Thank you for all the love in the comments, guys. This is awesome. Taimir joined. He's back in. There he is.
Back. Hey,
Just in time.
we like to
My
shuffle all the
internet's
squares.
My internet is so cursed right now. I don't know what's happening.
That's all right. As long as Phil stays live, we're live. So
Yeah.
that's right. So wow, that is awesome. That is so different than the last time I heard it. That is crazy.
Yeah, that's really great.
So I guess let's start with Phil. Phil's going to play in the background what he played, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the song in general.
Love it.
What he added.
Well, this is fun.
Wow.
When things rearrange, it also rearranges who's in what scene. So I'm going to have to do this with Colin every time.
Yeah.
So I did a Doors deep dive on our Instagram a while ago. And one thing about getting older is your tastes change. And I never really liked songs where the lyrics or the vocal melody followed the guitar riff. Growing up, but I found that all the Doors songs that I was really enjoying were all the ones where the vocal melody was following the guitar riff, and I was like, well, that's a great reason to, or that's a great idea to incorporate into an Alone Together song. And then I was also thinking of ways that I could fill out the song but not overcrowd what I thought other people might do. So I started adding strings, so you can hear the strings that are in there. And then about halfway through, I realized that I could program the strings to be pizzicato or bowed strings.
Yeah.
So they could change the chorus and the verse in really dramatic ways, but keep the strings throughout once they were introduced. So that was really fun for me. And I kind of took a leap with the song, with the chorus, because I didn't really know how it was going to get filled out, but that's awesome. I love it. And my last note is that I'm absolutely at the top of my range by the third verse, and Reed is like cruising through it. Yeah, he's like just so easy. That's so great.
That's wild. Yeah. That's awesome. That's cool. So then you sent it to me, and then I added drums. So when Phil sent it to me, oh man, all these scenes are all rearranged. Oh man.
In every scene.
Yeah, Nate is just now Colin. So Nate, if you want to no, I'm just joking. So Phil's going to add me back in here, but I'll go ahead and talk about my drums. So Phil sent me some digital drums on this one, and I kind of listened to those, got some inspiration from them a little bit, but then I wanted to do my own thing. And so I really wanted, this song, he just kind of likes to have drums that are a little more natural to play to, like a digital drum to play to. And I added some really organic drums, really of this style. Nothing crazy. I messed with some of his strings and some of his piano parts and kind of just tightened some things up in arrangement. But otherwise, I didn't really change the arrangement too much at all. So we're going to go and kick it on. I got it. I added drums. I sent it on to Benji. Benji could not be here this week because it is Kara's birthday. And so they're celebrating her birthday today. Happy birthday, Kara. That's right.
Happy birthday, Kara.
So he sent us a video where he talks about his parts. So we're going to go ahead and play Benji's video talking about his parts.
Hey guys, this is Benji from Broke Royals. I couldn't be there for this week's Alone Together because it's my girlfriend Kara's birthday. So everybody say happy birthday to Kara. Thank you guys so much. So for this week, I kind of felt two different things about the song. I felt like there was a really dirty blues style thing. I felt there was a really nice 70s pop style thing. So I decided to try to merge those two things together. So for the dirty blues thing, I used this guitar here. This is a very vintage sounding guitar. It's got a nice 60s, 70s feel to it. Anytime that I need to do something that sounds a little bluesy, a little bit funky, I pull out this guitar. So I use that for a straight up rhythm guitar sound that was just nothing crazy going on, just a little bit of dirt, a little bit of delay, played through the song. And then I went through and I used a fuzzy tone with what we call a tremolo, which is basically taking volume up and down really fast to create a little movement. Now that's a really old style blues sound, so I threw that on top as a lead guitar, and I took a little bit of a solo, I did a little bit of an octave part at the end, just to really make everything pop. At that point, I felt I was pretty much done with the guitar, and I started paying attention to what was happening in the chorus. Now in the chorus, I was trying to see if I could make it fill out a little bit more, so I tried throwing in some vocals. Didn't really work, didn't really make the impact that I wanted to. I didn't feel like my voice fit that particular sound. So I decided to do something a little bit different than what I usually do. I took this is a synthesizer, and I played a little melody into the song that sounded like I would say it sounded kind of like Electric Light Orchestra. There was this really round 70s style synth lead, and I think it fit really well. And what I did was I used that to imitate the lead line that Phil is singing for the chorus, or at least the backing vocals are singing in the chorus, and then I threw a little harmony on top to make it just a little wider in space. So that's all I threw in for this week. I kept it pretty simple, pretty bare bones, but I think that that's what this song called for this week. So thank you guys for tuning in. Back to you guys out there.
Hey.
Hi, Taimir.
Hi, Nate.
How you doing? I'm
Wonderful.
the host now. So tell me about what you did this weekend or this week on this tune. I heard some of that bass and it sounded great.
Yes. So, funny story. Right when I was beginning, hey Nate, what happened to you? You looked different.
He's no longer the host. I am the host now. It's like a Skype call when the host gets kicked off.
Musical chairs with hosts.
Yeah. So right when I got everything set up to start recording, and I like picked up my bass, I didn't even play anything, and then the nut or whatever this part is called broke. So I couldn't use one of my strings, but it's fine. It's the highest string on a bass. Nobody ever uses that, right? But so I found it pretty easy to play along with the song, and just provide like, a lower register for that main, do 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 do, and I just kind of rolled with that for a while. The chorus was really fun because I could just like kind of drone on a couple things and add just a little bit of taste here and there, and it worked out pretty well, I think. So
yeah.
I was pretty happy with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's amazing with just adding a good bass line underneath.
Yeah.
Even if it's like mostly following, it just adds so much to like the foundation of the song. It's awesome.
Yeah, so I know I don't always have a lot to say when it comes to some of these parts, but
yeah, but you're just doing what the song needs. Yeah, it speaks to you, and then you speak back with your bass guitar.
Exactly.
Okay, that's me playing the bass. This is why I don't play the bass in this band. So concurrently, actually, to you, or I don't know, I guess Reed might have had it, but we brought in Reed this week because as soon as I heard the song, I was like, Phil, we got to get Reed. Nate's hosting again, so Nate's going to introduce Reed. So you guys have already met Reed, but we sent this on to him, and he recorded a bunch of stuff and then realized that there were a few more parts from Benji that he hadn't even brought in. And so, yeah, tell us about your process this week.
Yeah, so I took what seemed like was everything that was recorded in the moment, and I was listening to it, and I was like, man, if Ben has already heard this, he is playing this so laid back. Like, there are no lead guitar parts on this song that I'm hearing at all. So I recorded a bunch of leads as if I was like the Slash of the band, and then realized there was a separate folder with all of Ben's parts. So then I uploaded that and then kind of reshaped my parts to that. And then I kind of tried to just focus on like counter melody for the chorus that I was doing the
So when he's going down, you're going up.
Yeah, I'm just like building, like I did two vocal parts that are just kind of like ascending together. Okay. And then like it all like descends together. But yeah, so I was trying to focus on counter melody, but I liked that I didn't ever ask like the chord structure of the song because I kind of wanted to discover it as I was discovering it. Yeah. I liked that it seemed like it went from E minor throughout the verses to like an E major switch in the chorus.
Yeah, that's pretty much right. Yeah.
Pretty nifty, but yeah, I don't know. I thought it was cool. It had a very like Black Keys or Alt J when people started saying that Alt J was trying to sound like Black Keys feel to it. And
yeah, so where Broke Royals trying to sound like Alt J trying to sound like Black Keys, I think is the
Sick.
A lot of imitation inception. But yeah, so I was trying to do, which I don't know if the riff that I did made it onto the final version, but I was trying to make it a little more like Led Zeppelin-y, like weirdness going through the whole thing.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, and I noticed some of those kind of like the neat chords in there, like a little bit of dissonance here and there.
Mhm.
No, it's awesome. And you had a glockenspiel too, right?
I don't think that made the final cut.
I didn't make the
either.
final cut. Okay.
I didn't hear it anyway, unless it's
Okay.
like way down in the mix. But
Yeah.
I that's my calling card these days is Glockenspiel.
Yeah, I love it. That's awesome. And for those of you, could you tell us about your project? You've been working on some recordings for yourself.
Yeah, I've just, while we've all been stuck at home, I've been working on stuff by myself with like what I have available, which is an SM58 microphone and a couple of guitars. And my mom, for my birthday, just bought me a little MIDI keyboard, so I've been playing with synths and stuff. But
Awesome.
yeah, so I've got a 3-song EP that I'll be putting out pretty soon called "Don't Microdose Alone," under
Very cool.
my new moniker, Half Bath.
Half Bath. I love it. That's a great
Half
name.
Bath. Yeah.
Half Bath.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, so you sent us the parts and we sent them on to all to Nate, and Nate had to make all of this work. We had a lot going on in this song. So let's bring in Nate, and who knows what's going to happen because we got kicked off this call earlier, so might get a little wonky.
Maybe we'll get a nice big Taimir face.
It was perfect.
Hey, it worked.
Hey, that worked.
Okay, so that's funny. We're just switched. Apparently, it just thinks I'm you and you're me.
Cool.
Nate, you got a lot of tracks in this one, and
I
the
did.
people who are just tuning in just a couple minutes, we're going to play the song again. So Nate's going to talk about what he did, and we're going to play the song again in just a few minutes. So Nate, tell us about what you added
Okay.
or what you did this week.
So I did not play anything on the song this week. It's basically, it seemed like, or at least when I pulled everything into the session and got everything routed and to the places where it needed to go so I could hear it and process it the way I wanted to. It just kind of seemed to a certain extent like everybody threw a bunch of stuff at the wall and took what and to see what would stick.
Yeah.
So very much this week, I just had played or I just participated in editing duty.
Yeah. Producer.
I moved some things around that I ultimately thought made the song flow better. I copied. Phil had like a different, like the first half of both the second and third chorus were originally different, but I made them the same as the first chorus because I felt like overall it made the song flow a little better.
Sure.
And I just chopped and screwed some stuff and
made it fit.
The song sound as good as I could make it sound in the with what I was given.
Yeah.
So that's all I really did.
Well, and we got so many different guitar parts because Ben and Reed both did lead duty level guitar work.
Phil had a bunch of guitar work too.
Yeah.
So trying to funnel it's weird trying to funnel
that much into a track.
Ultimately, like you're taking 30, 40, 50, 60. I think one Broke Royals track at one point had 128 individual tracks. And you have to funnel all of that down to 2 tracks, a stereo mix.
A left and right mix.
Left and right for the people at home here. So everything that comes out of the left speaker and everything that comes out of the right speaker. And so, this was an interesting one to try and do that.
But you did it, and it sounds awesome. I can't wait. I can't wait. We're going to listen to it again here in just a minute. But before we do that, we're going to kick it over to Phil, and Phil's going to tell us about the inspiration behind this song.
Hey, thanks, Colin. I was, as I mentioned, keen on writing something where the melody and the riff were the same, and that is really kind of a classic blues rock trope. Reed very nicely picked out the Black Keys inspiration, and if you go back, like Rolling Stones did this a lot as well. It's just something that's been in blues rock forever, and so sometimes I hesitate to talk too much about my lyrics because I want everyone to kind of interpret things in their own way. But for this song, I'll just say that our narrator is a bit full of himself. He thinks he is Mr. Suave and that he is going to swoop in and out of a relationship without any damage being done. But like, you know, maybe Nick from The Great Gatsby, I wouldn't believe everything that he tells us. So when you're listening to the narrator, just know that this is a man who thinks he's got it all under control, but in reality, some stuff's getting away from him.
So we're all back, and we are going to listen to this song one more time. Reed, thank you so much for joining us. Everybody tuning in, thank you. We're going to play the song here one more time. Check out Reed's upcoming project, Half Bath, where he puts out 3 home-recorded songs. And this song will be available to all our Patreon members in just a few moments. So without further ado, one more time, games you play alone together, and we'll see you all next week, Friday at 4 p.m.
There we go. Let's get a 3, 2, 1.
She said I love you, then she called me by another. She said I love you, but I caught her in another game. Another game. She's got games I don't mind playing. She don't know that I'm not staying. Meet me at the spot on the corner. It reminds you of the bars by and now I see she's closing in on being honest. And now I see she's trying to give up on all of those ways. But that ain't easy, baby. But I can make it easy for you. I'll be headed out that door, ooh, baby. Meet me at the spot on the corner. It reminds you of the bars by now I almost stayed a little longer. I guess that I was born to roam. She said I love you, but she called me by another name. She said I love you. Oh, what a shame. All those games I don't mind playing, but she almost had me staying.